Hey, happy Sunday night. Welcome to Road Less Traveled, episode number 75. We are joined here again for a repeat visit from Robert Scott. We're so excited to have him with us tonight. Love Robert, great friend of the show, great friend in general. So we're looking forward to finding out what's going on new with you, Robert, tonight. So, Bryan, welcome. What's up, buddy?
I'm just making sure I got that shared.
Do you? All right. Are we looking good? Are we all technical tonight?
Man, we're so handsome,
No, I
especially
don't
with
mean that. I
with
mean
our guests.
technically.
Oh, yeah, it looks like we're live on YouTube.
All right, good. So no more technical difficulties. That's excellent. So, what are you listening to this week, man?
Well, because I've been listening like every time I get in my car to that new 40th or it's 40th anniversary, right, of Tell the Devil
Mm-hmm.
tribute. So of course I had to pull this out again because this was, in my opinion, the pinnacle of Striper. And then we are doing throwback bands for today. X Center. This is a killer album.
Excellent.
And dun 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 dun. White Cross. So there you go.
All right. Well, I've got Blood Good Live Volume 1.
I've got those.
And super solid. I picked this one up in a bargain bin, believe it or not. And I
How
couldn't
much?
believe it was 95 cents.
No way. I got both of them for $30. So you got a good
Yeah,
deal.
these things are going for a mint on eBay. So I was like, wow, that's a big.
Do you have the other one too?
I don't have number 2, no.
But you'll be hunting it.
I will be hunting it, yes.
If you find
And
the
then-
DVDs, you better get them because they're out of print.
Oh, yeah. They're all going to go up.
Yep.
That's the thing. Who knew? Who knew that buying these bands would be investments?
Right.
Right.
Do you ever listen to anything that's not English? Do you ever listen to any foreign language metal?
No.
Mhm.
I don't listen to a lot, but this is a band called, and I'm going to blow the name, Bowen Urges. Sons of Thunder, basically.
Just point at it and say, this is the band.
Yeah, these guys. They're from South America, and they've got a great sound. They sing in Spanish, but really good, solid metal album. And then these guys, probably not a lot of people have heard of. They were more of a local band here. They opened up for some of our Metal Mission shows a few years ago. But Bone Prophet, they're just good, straight up rock. These guys actually won a secular battle of the bands at a Harley Davidson shop here.
Oh, wow.
So they're not just some slapped together band. These guys are pretty solid. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. So Robert, what do you got tonight that you're listening to?
Well, been doing a lot of playlists lately. With me driving and stuff. Matt Sassano. Been listening to him. Young group called Drive Through Society. Really good. Highway to Zion. My buddies Fear Not. Listened to their new album, Blind Leading the Blind, which I think is tremendous job on their part. Eddie's vocals are top notch. I'm a fan of them, and you know why? Because they do my entrance theme. Don't want none, come get some. And my dream still is to have Psych, sometime him escort me to the ring and stuff. That's a dream of mine and stuff. And Devin Williams is another guy I've been listening to lately, and another young group called Collision of Innocence and stuff. And my partner in crime, as he likes to call me, his partner in crime, Papa Bear, is give me ideas on music and stuff, and his friends have become my friends and stuff. So Divine Martyr's another one I've listened to that Papa Bear kind of recommended for me. So a lot of young bands I'm listening to and enjoying the music, something different.
So you mentioned some bands that I never heard of. Tell me about those. Tell us about a little bit. What kind of sound are they?
Well, they're hard rock, heavy metal, more or less. Highway to Zion is almost like they sing a lot of their music that comes from the Psalms. It's a heavy metal Psalms, I guess you would say.
Nice.
And To God Be the Glory is another group that I listened to, and it was funny. A day that I heard that one of my mentors had passed away and went to heaven, a song came up called "Old Death," and I'm like, "What's this about?" And it was just like a real awesome way of looking at it. Like, "Oh Death, where's your sting? Oh Death, where's your victory?" And it just was like, yeah, where is it? And it just, it was good. It was really enlightening and stuff. And
So these guys, clean vocals, screamer, clean vocals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that we have the pleasure of interviewing these bands too down the line too. It'd be nice.
Yeah. So Robert's a professional wrestler, been champion.
Yep.
Where's your belt?
I don't have that no more.
Oh.
I lost that back in September. I was a 2-time champion for Entertainment Wrestling Alliance, based out of Willowick, Ohio, and it was a short term, but it was enlightening. Being able to be a champion and to carry the banner was, even if it was a short time, it still was a great time for me because I was able to celebrate this victory with a lot of my friends and stuff. Like I had posted a picture of me and my mentor, Johnny Puma, who was one of my trainers. And I just gave him a shout out yesterday, just because he's meant a lot to me and my family. My late mother adored him. It was funny. One time I was refereeing a match here in Dunkirk, and he was in the ring, and he ended up slapping me in the face, and I ended up getting him in the corner. I said, "You know how much," and I'm yelling at him, "You know how much my mom loves you? You know how much she adores you? Guess what? She's in the crowd tonight." And he starts like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't mean to. Later on, he came out to the crowd, found my mom, and said, "I'm sorry, Mom." So I just adore the guy. I mean, I've had the pleasure of a lot of friends over the years, making a lot of friends and a lot of acquaintances. And, the best thing about it is these young guys that are coming up, they know where I stand, and they know I stand with the Lord. And during the show, they know if I'm sitting off to the side, if there's something that's bugging them, they'll come over and they'll ask me. And if they want me to pray with them, I'll pray with them and stuff. It's an opportunity. It's a ministry. And I've had the pleasure of doing this for now going on 24 years, even though I took a little time off after a car accident. Getting back on that bike felt really good. And I've had the pleasure of being with Rubber City Wrestling since made my comeback in June 25th, 2023. What is kind of weird is because it was 10 years after my car accident where I compression fractured my back in 3 places. So it was a long road back, and it's been a great ride. I think I'm enjoying this ride better than the first time because I've gotten more experience. I know what to expect, and I'm watching out for the younger guys to say, "Hey, man, don't go down that road," or something, and
right.
Keep your head up and try to be a good influence on them.
Yep. Mentorship.
Yep.
Hey, you need to open up one of your wrestling matches with Thunder of God off our new album and send me a video.
We'll have to do that. Because I have shows coming up so I got one in Euclid, Ohio next week, and then Warren, Pennsylvania in July. August, I'm back. Well, then another time in Willowick, and then Cleveland, Ohio, and then in September I'm going to be in Jamestown, New York, at Bergman Park, where I had played softball. Watched my late dad and my brother play softball there. Watched them get thrown out by umpires at the same games, and a lot of good memories there. And I know a lot of my friends and family are looking forward to seeing me wrestle. And I can't wait because it's close to home. I got classmates, former classmates of mine there, like that see me wrestle in Buffalo, but this is the closest I'm ever going to be. I feel unless someone does a show at my former high school, that'll be the closest I'll ever be to back home. But one thing I like to share with everybody, one of the things I do usually the week of the show that I'm wrestling, I'll stop down at the Ivory Cemetery where my parents are laid to rest, or where their names are on the tombstone, because I know where they're at.
Right.
Yep.
And I'll spend time, just sitting there and just, in my mind reminiscing and getting my head ready for the shows. So July 3rd and September 6th, I'm going to go there the day of the show and lay flowers there and to get my head straight before the shows. And it's something that they got the best seat in the house, the way I look at it. And it's just going to be a great time. The promoter I talked with, he's going to make an announcement that day before our match that I'm in, which is a 6-man tag, that I'm dedicating that match in memory of my mom and dad, Lois and Henry Scott Jr. So
Excellent.
It's going to be emotional, and the more emotion, the better off it's going to be for me.
Yeah.
More memories.
Yes.
Making new ones.
Yes.
Yep.
So are you a baby face or are you a heel these days?
I'm both.
Both?
I'm both. But leaning more towards being a good guy now. I got a few more turns of being bad. I got a little more bad that I got to get out of me. I still got, as I say, a couple more dances with the devil, and then I'm going to be good and stuff. But right now, I'm bringing back an old character that I did back 14 years ago. I pretty much pushed him off to the side after a casket match in Indiana, and I'm bringing back the Doberman, which was my gimmick that my character I started from in Kentucky back in 2005. And a few of my friends that were on that show in Kentucky back in 2005 are excited to see me bring that character back, because they know I enjoy being the Doberman. It's a different version of me. I get to have fun, but it's like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. I can be good, but I can be bad, and it's fun. The one good thing about it is my daughter never seen me wrestle as a Doberman, so she's kind of excited and stuff, and I'm kind of excited too, just to do this. And a lot of my friends that are going to be at the shows had watched me be the Doberman before, so this will be like reminiscing, but adding a new piece to the puzzle, I guess you could say.
Do you ever come to Michigan?
I'm hoping. I've talked with a guy that promotes in Michigan, and we're talking, and eventually, hopefully, I can get to Michigan, and I will let you know and stuff. I don't know what part. I've never been to Michigan, so I don't know what part of Michigan he's from or anything.
Oh, I'm on the west side.
Okay. I think the place is called Owasso, I think is the name of the place that he was talking about.
I can't tell you where it's at offhand.
So that's where I'll be lost then if you can't tell me where I'm going. That's not the first time I haven't.
We can check on our phones, but
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm looking forward to it. Opportunities. I got a show that's another one in September. I'm going to be traveling back to Indiana, where last time I wrestled was back in 2024, right after my mom had passed away. So this will be nice heading back there and seeing some young guys, some rookies that were just starting out, and now they've gotten their feet wet and they've really proved themselves. So I'm hoping to take on one of these up and comers in Indiana on September 26th, and then I get done with that show in Indiana. Then the next day, September 27th, I come back to Ohio for another show on Sunday. So I get done with one show, and I'm doing what's called a double duty. So
I just got a funny thought. If you come to Michigan, I could dress up as a character and get in the ring with you.
I honestly don't think that's a good idea, because when I'm in that ring, I'm a whole different animal, as I tell people.
And I'd be running around the ring. Mommy!
That's the best thing to do. That's all I tell people.
Just got images of like funny movies or something, you know?
Oh, yes, like Laurel and Hardy, Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, all them good ones.
What was that one English guy that would always run?
Benny Hill.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
me.
geez, yeah.
And Robert's chasing me.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
Do we want to talk about Immortal Fest right now?
Yeah, we can talk Immortal Fest.
Oh, that sounds good.
I met Robert at Immortal Fest. We were friends on Facebook. I don't know if we ever really interacted much.
Yeah, I think we did a little bit.
But it was really at Immortal Fest that we met in person and we developed a friendship. And then talk about connections. It was commenting on one of your posts about Brian's band that me and Brian actually met. So it's all kind of intertwined here. But
that's awesome. That's awesome.
But we met at Immortal Fest and became friends. And
exactly.
So you had some really cool stories that you were talking to us pre-show about Immortal and at the hotel and things like that. So share away.
Well, I think it's Greenville, Ohio. I think is where my daughter and I, Paige and I, stayed in the first year, and not realizing a lot of the bands stayed there. We didn't know that, and Paige fell in love with Chaotic Resemblance. That was her first time seeing them, and and I got to say, Travis's heart when he talks. I mean, he has so much energy. That band has so much energy. And then just to see him slow it down, and just when he's preaching, you're like, okay, what's God going to say through him? And it was just amazing. And was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Paige and I were down in the lobby, and because she likes her Reese's and I like my Butterfingers. So we were talking, and she goes, "Dad, do you think when we go to the venue today, I think we can get pictures done with Chaotic Resemblance?" I said, "Yeah, that's not a problem. I think that'd be great." After we said that, next thing we know, the band walked right behind us, and I'm like, "Whoa, there's Chaotic Resemblance!" And they turned around, and they were like, "Oh, hey!" And we started talking, and Paige had got tongue tied, and I thought, "Oh, that's cute that she got tongue tied." Seeing the band, Mm-hmm. And then we go to Immortal Fest, and I see Les Carlson. Now, Les isn't that big of a guy, but I'm this big wrestler dude. Try to talk to Les, and I get tongue tied. And he's like, "Oh, you want me to get a picture done with your daughter?" I'm like, "Yeah." So anytime Les would see me after that, he goes, "Are we good, Rob?" I'm like, "Yes, we're good, Les." But there's another guy that I got tremendous respect for and love for, music wise, and and then was it 23? We went to a different hotel, and we saw one of my favorite bands from the 90s, One Bad Pig. And I was like, man, I'd love to meet them guys. Oh, here we go again. We're coming down through a lobby. There's One Bad Pig in the lobby. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was so great. So, I mean, one thing I love about Immortal Fest, and it goes back to our first Immortal Fest, is what Ray Paris said. And it kind of changed my outlook on concerts to see when he said, I wish we could take these barriers down that's separating us from you guys, because we're all family here.
Yep. Yeah.
And that really hit home to me. And Ray Paris is another guy that I don't think there's been anybody there that hasn't made an influence on me. And I had a few friends on Facebook prior to Immortal Fest, but it's like now it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's someone I met at Immortal Fest, or oh, that's a band from Immortal Fest. And and what I love about Immortal Fest is the interaction from with your fellow heavy metal believers, to the bands, to you name it. And it was like that first Immortal Fest when I got to meet Chris Jericho. And it was like he just walked right by, hey, Chris, and shook his hand. I'm like, oh, okay. And one of my biggest influences from there is Pastor Bob.
Yep.
Yeah. My daughter Paige is one she's shy around people, and it's nice, it's humbling. But Pastor Bob brings out the best in you. And he just, I remember, I still don't know how I did it when I lost my mom in 24, the Thursday before Immortal Fest. And I still went to Immortal Fest that Friday, the day after my mom passed. And I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I should be home. And when I had talked with Pastor Bob, he goes, I know why you're here. It's because you want to be God wants you to be with your family, your heavy metal family. Awesome. And we're going to love on you this weekend. You don't have to worry about nothing. And it just felt like, oh my gosh, and I know a lot of people are telling me, they're like, I had gotten some critics who were like, I can't believe you just put your mom's death aside. Well, no, because mom left. Mom was gone. Mom was home with her husband. It would have been of 65 years. My dad passed away a week before their 65th anniversary. So, yeah, because you came into my life right before Dad got sick, and then Dad got sick, and God blessed me with our friendship, Brian, because
same here.
You had told people, listen, we need to pray for Robert. And I had so many people, from the drummer John Mockma to Dale Thompson to late David Patacani, who another guy I just adored that we lost, that's got his promotion to heaven recently. And it was just, just so many people that came around. And at that time I took it but I didn't take it the right way. Now, when Mom passed, I took it and I'm like, I'm not going to close up this time. I'm going to reach out to others and say, listen, I'm hurting, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. And between the wrestling community and the music community, they engulfed me and they poured their love around me with prayers and with messages, you name it. And it was just like, I've done a lot better after Mom died, until my wife got sick, and loss of jobs and a lot of other stuff. And then it just was like, I need an escape. And what it was is I was able to talk to a psychiatrist, and she had told me that I had what was called unresolved grief, that I just kept moving and moving and never accepted what was going on. And after I accepted it, God has changed that, turned that around. And now I'm able to talk to others that recently lost their parent or a loved one and say, listen, I get what you're going through. I'm here for you. But it took me having to go through that dark valley to be able to reach out to people, and now being able to have people reach out to me so I can reach out to God and on their behalf. And, and that's what I say, Immortal Fest opened a door, because at the time I wasn't wrestling. I had walked away from it, and I'm like, God's got to, I want to do something. And that door kept saying, wrestling. I'm like, I can't do that. And then can't is not in God's dictionary. It's the word can and will. And Pastor Bob had said, it's like he spoke over me. He goes, and it was like a sermon he was doing. He goes, and it was at Immortal Fest. And he goes, there's that something that you guys loved, and and you walked away. Did God tell you to stop? Because if God didn't tell you to stop, then you need to pick that ball up and start running with it again. I'm like, okay, I got you. I get you. So, yeah, I just so many great memories of meeting you there, Paul. And, we started out friends, but we're more like brothers now. And,
Yes.
and it's great to celebrate things with you and your family. And it's awesome. So I know I get long winded sometimes.
No, that's cool. And it's I'm going to go to the comments in a second, but it's 2 weeks in a row now. We've had guests that have gone through difficult times.
Yep.
And they both said, you and our guest last week, Percy, said, I went through this thing, so now I can use it to help other people.
Exactly.
And so there's someone listening to the show tonight, or maybe on recorded, that's going through something, and they're, why God, why God, why God? And I hope they hear that. And I hope they understand that there's purpose in the suffering, there's purpose in the trial, there's purpose in the hard thing. So thank you for saying that and sharing.
Yeah, thank you for opening up, because all
so
things
important.
work together for good.
Yes.
But
and it's all things, not just the good stuff.
And one thing I want to say about Bryan, and we've talked about this before, is I had the pleasure of reading lyrics that would have been coming off the second album, Heaven. And to read that at my dad's funeral, it was amazing, because I just loved it, And the one cool thing about it is my dad was on his way to heaven that day. I was able to play that song for him, both that song and 3 days later. And, and it was just like the hope that was there.
Yep.
Not just for, I knew where Dad was going. I knew his time here was done and he was ready to move on to bigger and better things. But to hear that song and then to read those lyrics was like, it was healing for me and for those that heard those lyrics the day of his funeral.
And that's why John and I do what we do.
Oh, yeah.
So, and whoever works with us.
Right. Right. But yeah, I've been blessed by the Christian heavy metal hard rock community.
Yep.
And I just, like I said, everybody I've had come in contact with, has been a blessing and encouraging and everything. And a shout out to everybody I've met at Immortal Fest.
Thanks for making me cry.
I can't say all the names because I can't remember all the names. So
you make me cry live.
We're a community that, others might call us misfits or people that don't blend well.
Exactly.
I think all three of us sitting here with black t-shirts on tonight, and
we're that round peg trying to fit into a square hole.
Yeah, and one of the things that struck me the most is going to that BMI center, and for any event that I've ever been there for, whether it's Immortal or not, is looking around and saying, this is a place where we're all together and we belong together.
Exactly.
And no one's looking at anybody going, what's wrong with that guy?
We're all misfits together.
Yeah.
I was excited to get my picture taken with Wild Man and Steve, and didn't know later on that I'd run into your elbow. Was in the picture. He was standing like maybe 6 feet, 7 feet away from me. We didn't even know each other. And I'm like, hey, is this your arm in my picture? And he goes, yeah. So we were that close to each other, and then we became friends not too long after.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's just that kind of place.
That
kind of an event. So if and I'm going to plug it, man. If you don't have your tickets for Immortal Fest yet, and you can get out there this year in September.
And if you can't go, get this live streaming. They do a really good job.
Oh, yes, they do.
But I mean, being there and experiencing that is just phenomenal. You make lifelong friendships and reconnect with family you never met. So
exactly.
And you guys, it's really cool, Robert, that you gave that testimony again about the music. you could have chosen any band. So I'm not just bragging about mine. I'm just saying what music can do is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was an honor for John and I. We're like, because the music that one song wasn't even released yet. So
Right.
you got pre-release.
Mm-hmm.
But the more important thing is people were blessed and it helped you through a tough time. And that's what music can do.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's like Fear Not. Once I got back into wrestling, I fallen in love with the song Don't Want None, Come Get Some. And I remember I talked with the drummer, Gary Hansen, and I was telling him about it. And he goes, well, hold on a minute. And then he talked with Larry Worley, and then he talked with Rod, and then he talked with Chris. And they're like, yeah, go for it. We want you to use our song. That's what it's there for. We want a wrestler to use our song. And I'm like, don't you want a bigger guy? They're like, no, we want just a wrestler to use our song. And so every time I hear that song, I just, I'm just blessed beyond measure to being like, I got my brothers leading me to the ring. They're leading me into battle. And
cool.
Whether I'm a good guy or a bad guy, it doesn't matter. They're still leading me into battle. So,
hey, hit those comments.
All right. So Daniel's watching with us tonight. Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Hey, Daniel.
Got to hang out with Daniel a little bit today. My granddaughter got baptized this morning.
Awesome.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah, that was a big blessing. And we've got a thumbs up from Mindy on YouTube. So thankfully YouTube's working tonight. Hello, Mindy.
Yeah, thank you for doing that comment so we know.
And Rob Lowe is here, and he says, hi, brothers and everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Another friend of the show. It's always good to see you, Rob. And Dale, I hope you're feeling better. Handsome Jimmy Valiant is the best wrestler ever.
I'll go with the Boogie Woogie Man version of him. That's what I caught, was the Boogie Woogie Man version of Jimmy Valiant. So I'll agree with you on that, Dale.
So we want to continue to lift up Dale and his wife in prayer for health. He's been posting about they just caught this summer flu and it's been beating him down pretty good. So remember, keep him in prayer. Please do. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit. Something exciting just popped up. You've done your first episode with Papa Bear. So talk about how that all came about and how what you can share about where it's going. And I know there's some surprises that we're not allowed to hear about yet.
Right. What was funny, I didn't know that I don't know. I mean, I've done podcasts where I've been the guest, I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. And I've had fun with it. And then lo and behold, I get contacted by you, Paul, about are you interested in doing a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then you were my connection with Papa Bear, and we talked. He called me, and I talked, and we just immediately connected. And we found out we had a lot in common and stuff. And it's just great. And then we were talking, and he goes, "Oh, we'll do a podcast down the line here real soon." And it was within a couple days after we met. He's like, "Hey, Robert, I got Matt Asano coming on Monday night. Would you be able to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we talked, and Matt, tremendous guy. To find out that we're Western New York guys together. That he was at what we have our Christian festival here. It's called Kingdom Bound, and that he was at Kingdom Bound before he moved to Nashville, and as a fan, and it's like, wow. So we connected, and it's great. And keep Papa Bear in your prayers too, because he's been battling bronchitis, and he's finally getting his voice back. And where the road leads from here, it's anybody's guess. We have some upcoming surprises that I think everybody will like. Even if there's nights where we don't have an artist on, we're gonna give testimonies, talk, and stuff. And another thing is, he's a big Waltons fan, and I grew up on the Waltons too. and it was a few weeks ago. He went to the Waltons reunion thing, and just seeing pictures that he had shared brought back memories. And because I'll share this with the Waltons. Growing up, I was little. It was on Thursday nights, and my dad would be bowling. So, when it'd be over with, when that final song was being played, it'd be like, oh shoot, I got to go to bed before Dad gets home from bowling. Well, now when I watch the reruns, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't need to go anywhere. I need to go to work, but I don't need to go to bed because Dad's not coming home from bowling. But what was hard for me watching the Waltons there for a little while was Grandma and Grandpa, because they reminded me so much of my mom and dad. I couldn't watch the show there for a while because it reminded me too much of them. But now I'm able to watch it again. But just talking with Papa Bear and stuff, and his experiences with talking with different artists, and one of the artists I'm hoping to, and I'm going to say a dream interview for me, more ways than one, would be Disciple, because my daughter Paige adores Disciple. And I told her, I said, if that happens, I said, you're going to have to sit next to Daddy, because you're going to have to try to talk to Kevin too, to try to give an insight. And she goes, I'll try and stuff. But I think the way God has opened this door for podcasting, I think's awesome. And I mean, you call me a wrestling phenom, and I kind of laugh because I when I think of wrestling phenoms, I think of guys like Andre the Giant. The guys are bigger than life. I'm only 5'7", and people crack up when they're like that have not met me, and they're like, so how tall are you? Like 6 foot? No, I'm 5'7". They're like, oh, so you're David in a land of Goliath. I go, exactly right. That's exactly what I think. So, but
guys like Rey Mysterio, there's a couple of them that are out there that lead the way as men of less stature physically, but giants in the field. So
it's just been a blessing, with Craig or Papa Bear or whatever. He's just been such a blessing to, we're talking, and I got to thank you, and I'm going to thank you live right here on a show. Is thank you for bringing us together, because it's a blessing.
That's
well,
cool.
he wrote me and was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a format like you and Bryan have. I think I want to bring a co-host on. Do you know anybody? And I thought, who would I call?
Ghostbusters.
If I needed a new co-host, who would I call? And your name was the first name that popped into my head.
Wow.
And I said,
yeah, tell them what you said pre-show about me.
What's that?
You remember about replacing me?
I didn't say I was going to replace. I was like, if anything ever happened to Bryan, who would I call? I wasn't thinking about, hey, let's get rid of Bryan. I want to call Robert.
Next thing you know, he's got a hitman coming at me. A wrestling hitman.
Yeah.
Wonder who that might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I had plans, I certainly wouldn't have offered him the podcast.
Today on Nightline.
I don't know anybody, man. Sorry. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I was looking for someone, who would I want? And because I remember the first show we all did together, how great it was. And,
right.
Yep.
And I thought, man, we were even talking about, what if we had Robert on more and we just didn't? But it was a great show, and so that's why I threw your name out there, and I'm really super stoked that it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's going to be a great ride.
A network together, doesn't it? Yeah. Pretty
cool. Because you talked about Ray and his show, Is It Wrong?
Yep.
He's another great friend of our show, and we're just rooting for each other all because we're on the same team, man. So
we want everybody to have success.
Yeah.
It's not a competition.
No.
And Paul showed that by talking to you about it, and now we're connected even deeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
it's given me a chance to, take my mind off things sometimes, like, oh, like if Papa Bear says, oh, we're going to have so-and-so on. Okay, well, I need to listen to their music.
Yep.
So I know what to ask. So I got to do homework. And that's always fun for me.
Yep.
Well, we've discovered new music because Brian will book somebody I never heard of.
Yep.
And I'll be like, all right, I got to go check them out and see what they sound like. And then I'll bring up the name, and Brian's like, I never heard of those guys. What's that?
Can I plug for our big guest real quick?
Yeah, man.
We are going to be having Dr. Dino Kent Hovind, your friendly neighborhood atheist basher.
We're not going to bash atheists.
No, but that's what it comes off with the atheists, because they attack him big time. So really pray for us, because we could come under attack. Because those atheists, they swarm the internet and they just look like sharks in a frenzy. So yeah, that's going to be Monday night, because it's his schedule, not ours. It's Monday night, the 29th at 8 p.m. Kent Hovind, Dr. Dino.
And that's a special night for me, because that will be mine and my wife's 30th wedding anniversary that night.
Cool. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Early.
Very early.
I think the gifts got lost in the mail, though.
I think that. Well, I better find the gifts before the 29th. That's all I know for myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in the doghouse.
That's a big one. 30 years.
Cool.
So, you said you would be doing like testimonies and stuff. Is there an angle of scripture, maybe end times, or something in a theme that you guys would focus on when you don't have a guest?
I think it's going to be more or less like us having like conversation like we're having, and just talking and sharing what's going good and what's not going good, and pray, and maybe opening up to people and saying, hey, is there anybody that needs prayer tonight, or any prayer needs, or sharing like favorite scriptures and stuff. Because I know for myself right now, the Psalms is where it's at for me right now, and it's great because through my church we're doing a small group, and this last week we were doing stuff out of Psalm 63, and just it's just a blessing, and I love it when the Psalms are put to music, and and then it's like, okay, yeah, I get it now. Because sometimes I can be thick-headed, and it just it resonates better that way.
Well, the Psalm is the songbook. It is literally the Hebrew songbook.
What was that song that Sin Dizzy did?
Oh, 23rd Psalm.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I love their version of it. I mean, I've heard tons of people put that to music. And
yeah, I know Keith Green had a great version of Psalm 23. Yeah.
Some are better than others. Some are tedious to listen to. But Sin Dizzy's, for some reason, I just, that's one of those ones I can hit replay.
My favorite song on there is Hebrew Kings. I thought Oz Fox's vocals were like tremendous on that song.
Yeah, he's very underrated as a musician, because one of the things I don't think a lot of people realize is that his vocals are very, very similar to Michael Sweet, to where you may not even be able to tell who's singing at a given time if Oz is jumping in. And when they did that Sin Dizzy album, it was like, wow, this is really, really good stuff. Where have you been? Why aren't you singing more? Kind of a thing.
Yep.
Right.
Very strong vocalist.
Yeah. Yep. So what in Psalms has got you excited right now?
Now let me grab my Bible real quick.
All right. Went to a podcast and a Bible study broke out.
Let me find it.
We had a Bible study breakout on our way to a concert, because it was 7 hours from our house. And I told the guys halfway there that the church we're going to was a Mormon church.
Oh, wow.
we didn't shy away from the gospel or anything. We had a big Bible study on the way there because everybody's like, we're going to play them. So we had to get our mindset.
That's awesome.
It turned out good. They loved us. We got paid.
I think it's Psalm 61. And I remember hearing at one of the Immortal Fests, Matthew Ward putting this to music, putting this to song. Hear my cry, O God, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth, I will cry to you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been a shelter for me, a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in your tabernacle forever. I will trust in the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. You will prolong the king's life, his years as many generations. You shall abide before God forever. O prepare the mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So I will sing praise to your name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. And, you know, anything I do, I want to have that heart. You know, whether it's wrestling, whether it's being a firefighter, being a father, a brother, an uncle, school bus driver, whatever. I want to have that heart. You know, I want people to see not me, but Jesus through me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one thing I have a pleasure of doing, because I've had a bad run of jobs over last year. I had a good job where I was, you know, driving 3 and 4 year olds around. That job I wasn't offered back, so then I went down another road where I was delivering propane, acetylene, and all these tanks, and that didn't work out. I'm like, oh, where am I going here, Lord? And then I went to a school district that was 40 minutes away, and that didn't work out. And then this school district that's only 20 minutes away popped up, and I'm like, okay, we'll see where this ends up. And, you know, I had a good interview, and I left the one bus company and came to this one, and it's been an amazing ride because, you know, we're in a smaller community, and everybody's in it together. We're a team, and you know, you don't have anybody who's like, oh well, why are you driving that run and I should be driving that run? No. We're all in this together. And one of the blessings I've gotten is I've taken these 2 teenagers to different schools, and I have my Christian music on, and I have it down low where it's not overwhelming in the background. And the girl one day goes, hey, Mr. Rob. I go, what? She goes, this music you're listening to. I go, yeah. She goes, is this God music? I go, yeah. She goes, I like this. I go, cool. And we got talking about music, and she goes, is there any kind of music that you don't really prefer? And I said, well, jazz is not really my cup of tea. She goes, well, I agree with you on that, you know.
I do too.
But you know, and it's just it's you know, like I said, anything I do or say, I just want to bring glory to God. No glory to me. I don't take me out of the equation and just put God for the whole thing, because everything I say and do, I want it to come back to him and to give him the glory. But I don't want me per se to stand in someone's way of coming to know the Lord. If I'm in the way of someone coming to know the Lord, get me out of the way. So,
yep.
You know, I don't want to be that roadblock.
Hey, what was that Psalm? What was that passage again? Psalm what?
Oh, I'm gonna make
61.
Huh?
Yeah,
61,
Psalm 61.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, my video hiccuped or something.
Yep, Psalm 61.
61. Thank you.
Yep.
We're live.
So,
you never know what the audio is going to do.
You know, it's cool. You know, you read that. Clearly, that's a Psalm of David talking about his kingship and the future and stuff. Do you think when he wrote that, do you think he had like foreknowledge or revelation that the Messiah was coming from him?
That I'm not sure. Possibly.
That's an interesting question that I've never thought.
Yeah, the same here.
I was thinking about that when you were reading that, and he's talking about the future generations, and I'm thinking, I wonder if he knew.
He might have had a glimpse.
Yeah.
God maybe gave him a glimpse of what was to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
you know when you have like a thought, but it wasn't really from you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain that to the person that doesn't have the Lord.
Exactly.
Because I felt that just about, was it 9 days ago? So we'll see. Yeah.
So, I was thinking about that while you were reading that, it popped into my head. I wonder if he knew. And then I thought about, for us, maybe he didn't know, because I think he would have said, maybe at some point, this promise God made me. Wow. Because we know about the promise for the land, and we know about that they will always have someone on the throne. So I kind of had that glimpse of it, but not like definitive.
Right.
I think what you just said is smart, because they had the scriptures, and people don't realize that back in that day, they didn't meet church like we did. They met like in a right in the middle of the city or whatever, and they would read the scrolls, and then people would comment. It was more of a verbal society.
Right.
Totally different from now. So I think that he may have had some ideas, and then when he started seeing things, he could have start putting it together.
That's true.
Yeah. And then you think about legacy, and then you think about, for us, we have no idea what God does with us after we're gone.
Right.
What the music that Bryan puts out, the wrestling legacy that you have, that'll always be out there. There's videos, there's people that you've touched that will go on and touch other people.
Right.
That will go on and touch, however long the Lord tarries. And
the ripple effect.
Yeah. And, content that we all create and put out there, we just have no idea what God's going to do with that stuff after we're gone. And as I'm getting older, I'm starting to think about legacy. I'm starting to think about purpose and meaning. And, I may never, ever be have notoriety of any kind, but there's things that I've put out that might, a generation from now, ripple down and touch somebody. And I mean, that's treasure in heaven. That's
exactly
just being faithful to the Lord. And so, we're doing these things. And you talked about phenoms and saying you're not really a wrestling phenom, but you are, man, because you're touching people's lives.
Right.
You're going out
in the
there.
Spirit world, you're huge, because the devil attacks people who live for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can learn through.
I've seen it, I've seen it with guys battling addictions and stuff, and it taking its toll on themselves and their families and their communities and stuff, and and I've battled my own things, and someday we'll go into it and stuff, but it comes down to from my first time around wrestling, I was looking for a guy to be like a mentor to me.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't that guy. And so when the second time around, I'm like, I want to be a mentor to that younger person, that younger guy that's starting out, that's like so like full of the energy and wants to do everything. And I'm cool with that, but I don't want them to take the wrong road. I don't want them to see like, oh, I got this fame, I can use it for my glory. No, you got to use it for God's glory, and stuff. And, the more I'm around these younger guys, the more it's like, now I see why God wanted me to come back to the ring. It's not so much for my glory, but for his glory. And that's what it comes down to me. And I'm thankful for the promoters I have the privilege of working with and talking with and hanging with, and they know if they have issues or something, they're struggling with something, they can say, hey man, I need prayer. Okay, I got you. or anything and
Mhm.
stuff.
God's gonna honor that, man. You might in your own mind sometimes think it's not being seen, and you're almost famous. That's what I always say about me. And you might not feel that you're being used, but man, like Paul said, once we die, this digital content, as long as the Antichrist doesn't take down all the Christian stuff, which I'm assuming,
I agree.
but until that time happens, keep doing it. Keep
Oh yeah.
doing what you're doing for the Lord. Get it out there. Stay in the Word. Make sure you're praying. Have a mentor, somebody that's going to help you walk with the Lord. And
Oh
do
yeah.
whatever you're doing, do it as unto the Lord. That's why that
Yep.
verse is in there, right? Whatsoever you
Yep.
do.
Yep.
Yeah, and be a
So,
mentor because
yep.
you said it. I had the same. When I was a young believer in my early 20s, I went to a pastor at my church. And I said, "Hey, man, I want some discipleship. I want some." I was serving. I was already involved in ministry, but I said, "I need some mentorship. I need some discipleship." And he's like, "Nah, man, you're like me. You're a self-starter. You don't need anybody to do anything for you. You're just keep doing what you're doing,
Oh
man.
no,
You're all
no.
right."
Wow, that's horrible.
It was horrible. I was
And
so
you're a star that
exhausted.
burns out that way too, because you're doing
Yeah,
everything on your own, and it's like you don't have someone coming up alongside of you holding you. You
yeah.
know,
Yep.
having that shoulder to lean on, and you need that.
You do need that. And that's why I decided that from then on, if I ever have an opportunity to be a mentor to somebody, to disciple somebody that wants to sit and spend time in the Word, I'm going to do it
Oh
because
yeah.
that was a horrible experience to have somebody tell me that. Nah, and it wasn't that, and it wasn't that he thought well of me. He couldn't be bothered. That's what it really came down to.
And you
He
were
really,
reaching out. That should have been a hint for him in his position.
yeah, he just couldn't care. He couldn't be bothered, and that was the end of that. So
Yeah, that's sad.
that's the thing,
Well,
man. You're
guess what happened to the last hour?
zoop.
It's like the halfway mark. I'm praying, please give us a good enough content. Next thing you know, he did.
Yeah, and we're done.
Awesome.
So yeah, man, I love that you're doing that mentorship. I love that
Yep.
you're coming alongside these young guys and doing that. And that's really where it's at is being there for somebody. So where can people contact you? Where are you? What social media platforms are you on?
I'm on. I'm mainly just on Facebook,
Okay.
and you know, just search me on Facebook, Robert Scott, and in parentheses it says Bob Scott because many people know me as Bob and some know me as Rob, and I'd be more than glad to anybody who wants to contact me, message me. I'm game. I'll pray with you, and my Facebook's open, and I have pictures of my wrestling on there. I have pictures of concerts I've been to. My life's an open book, I guess you could say, on Facebook. So
And there's
Right.
there's YouTube videos of you wrestling too, right out there?
yes, there is.
I know you sent me some.
You go on. There's so many. Like I couldn't name them all, but I know if you search Rubber City Wrestling Global, there's matches I've been on in there. EWA Central, many matches there, and I have fun with it. Sometimes I get a little overexcited in the ring and go a little overboard, but I'm out there having fun. I guess that's the way you say it. But
Yep.
we have fun. So
Cool.
All right. Well, Brian, you want to walk us out like normal?
Sure. We mentioned it earlier, but stay in the Word. Read at least a chapter a day, or a chapter a night, whatever. Even if you're tired, just put your nose in there and finish off one chapter at least, because God will use it.
Mhm.
And then the next
Amen.
night you might be like rambunctious and read two. But
Or
make sure
three.
you're reading and just walking with your Lord. Is He your Savior? Spend time with Him. So there's the encouragement.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank everybody that was tuning in tonight. Drop us comments. We love you guys. Robert, thanks again for spending some time with us. Always a
Thanks for
pleasure to have
having
you
me.
on, brother. This is always
And
good.
we're praying for you with your podcast and all that too.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
So blessings, everyone. Thank you and good night.
Good night.